Paradise crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Though dice and woes of life, love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raiment and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Monday, the beginning of the NBA Finals, which the Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to win. Hopefully they will. We're going to do a breakdown today. Then, of course, we're going to try to come on tonight on the Unpopular. I'm going to, after the storm, and do our breakdown there as well with our, our good group of chat people that love to give their insights about the game. And also, guys, if you want to go ahead and do your insight, come to search the Unpopular Hour - Matt Clark on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, and you guys can come on and do some stuff there as well. So, but I will say this: this matchup, I think we all pretty much knew that it was going to be us against them. Since the playoffs, since the All-Star break, the Pacers are 46-18. The Thunder are 53-13. Those are two best records since the All-Star break. So when you talk about matchups, which is all the playoffs are, it's about matchups. And we talked about it all. We talked about it right before it all started. When I said I wanted the Memphis Grizzlies, and I did not want the Lakers in the second round. Remember, I wanted the Lakers in the finals. Because why? Because I figured that the road they were going to have to go through in order to win, they'd have to go through 21 games by the time they got to us. Okay, or 20, 19, whatever, a high number. That's what they were going to have to get through to get to us. And I don't care what you say, Father Time is undefeated. And no matter what the Lakers will say, I hear this nonsense on Fox and all that. I'm like, shut the hell up. The Lakers would have been exhausted. Now, were they a tough out for us? Yes. But in the second round, yes. Third round, no. So when you had the Clippers, or when you had the Nuggets against the Clippers, what did I say? It would be harder for us to beat the Clippers than the Nuggets. And the only reason why we went 7 games against the Nuggets is because we gave away game 1. What happened to the Knicks? They gave away game 1 instead of us having a game 7 tonight. The Knicks gave away game 1. We did the same thing except we rebounded. They did not. We had to go one on the road. They did not, to get home court advantage back. They got home court and then lost it again. We did not do that. Those are the differences. So by the time we got to where we played the Nuggets, like I said, the Nuggets were a short team. They didn't have a bench. And eventually, games 4, 5, and 6, they were going to be worn out. And what happened in 4, 5, and 6? In 6, they were fantastic, but we had SG and nobody else. And I said during that series, the best thing in the world for the Thunder was what? The fact that we had been sitting and we were in trouble, and the Thunder needed to play. And once the Thunder started playing, what ended up happening? The Thunder ended up winning. And when you look at the Pacers, there should be a game 7. Now, the Knicks and the Pacers went at it, 100%. But the Knicks gave away game 1. And I can promise you, if we're up 9 with 50 seconds left or a minute to go in the game, we're not losing. We're not going to lose that. Now, up 3 or something, the coach might make some decisions, but he learned his lesson from game 1 against the Nuggets. And what was it, game 5 or 6 or whatever against, was it game 4? Or 5, whatever, game 4 or 5, whichever one it was, when we had the same scenario, up 3, what do? He wasted time off the clock, which he did not do the first time. So when you look at these two teams, they're pretty well even. Two best teams since the All-Star break are these two teams. You saw what the Thunder did. You saw what they did. Now, to me, what are the determining factors, if you will, in this series. Okay? What is going to be the determining factors? Well, the bench is clearly, we have a long bench, they have a long bench. Their bench is about scoring, our bench is about scoring and defense. That's what it is. Number two, the keys. Halliburton and Siakam versus SGA, Chet, and J-Dub. We have three, they have two. Now, in the playoffs, they're 12-3, we're 12-4. In the playoffs. But something that my guy Nathan Taylor of YNB always says. Paul George, the gift that keeps giving. In 2017, they traded Paul George for Sabonis and what's my guy's name? I can never remember the guy's name. It always drives me nuts. The guard that was really, really good. That's what they traded for in 2017. And who did they end up getting? With that trade, they got Halliburton. In 2019, your boy Kawhi Leonard had to have Paul George. And who was Paul George playing for? The Oklahoma City Thunder. What ended up happening? The Thunder ended up getting SGA with Sam Presti, just Clifton, and J-Dub. That's who they got. But you got your foundational piece with SGA, and then you got J-Dub. So you got your foundational piece. And then the next year you get Josh Giddey. And then you get J-Dub, Chet, and J-Will. Then you add Kaysen, and you get to have Chet for a full year. And then you add the two final pieces, Ihart for inside presence, and Caruso for defense. Because 3 years ago, what did we gripe about after we said the Thunder are going to win? This is what they need to do. Inside presence, outside shooting, and three-point and wing defense. And what did the Thunder do? Outside shooting, got Chip, the best shooting coach in the league, paid him, got him for shooting. Got J-Dub, got Kaysen, got Caruso for wing, for perimeter defense. And then got Ihart for what? Inside presence. And the Thunder haven't looked back. They haven't. They haven't. And when you do this comparison, because, like I said, this game is going to be a good game. If you think this series is not going to be good, some people think, oh, the Thunder are going to sweep them. I don't see that. I'm not disrespecting the Pacers by saying they're going to get swept. Now, could it be the gentleman sweep in 5? Yes. Could it be in 6? More probable. Because the Pacers are good. Remember, we barely beat them the first time, and we beat them pretty good the second time. The Pacers are good. They're going to give us headaches. Now, that being said, the March game is the game that really made the difference, not the game back in December. Because two totally different teams. But the Pacers have not seen us fully healthy. And Nathan and I had talked about this. We've only had, maybe 30 games, including payouts, maybe 40? No, not 40, probably 30, when we've had SGA, J-Dub, Dort, Ihart, Chet, Caruso, Kaysen, Wiggins. But those 7, fully healthy, we've only played maybe 30 games. Maybe. That's playoffs we played, 12? So maybe 25, 30, somewhere around there. We need to go back and look at that. But that's all they played healthy with the full team. We haven't played a whole lot, and I'll get some real stats on that. But that's the key. They have not seen that. They have not seen us fully healthy. When we're pushing you out defensively, and you got to come down the middle, you got the big boy Chet waiting on you inside. And I saw a thing today talking about, if the referee's going to swallow the whistle, what are you talking about? This is the playoffs. Why are you asking them? This is the playoffs. Either you can play or you can't. Don't be begging for officials, and that's what gets a lot of these players in trouble because they're sitting there begging for calls. You notice that SGA stopped doing that. He stopped begging for calls. Don't beg for calls, bro. Go make your play. Go do what you got to do. Go score. Now, when you look at these teams, this is where, let me blow this up a little bit better. It's blown up better on After the Storm. Here's our two teams in comparison, and then you guys kind of rate your own, and you come up with your own thought process on this. But here are the two teams as they face off each other now, record wise, and this is the season and the playoffs. Okay, this is not just the playoffs. This is inclusive of it all. We're 68-14. This is during the season. I'm sorry. 68-14. They were 58-24. Now we're currently 80-16, 80-18. We've lost how many games we lost? 3, 4. So we're 80-18 is what we are, and they are 70-27. So I need to go back and adjust that. And I'm thinking we'll do that right now. I'm gonna go back and adjust that because that's gonna bug me because that's the overall record, including the playoffs. We are 80 and 18, and they are 70-27. Because that was going to bug me because that's the actual records because they are 12-3 and we are 12-4. And remember, we should be 12-3. We only lost. Actually, we shouldn't have lost game 3 either. But SGA didn't do what the hell he was supposed to do, and Dagnall did put us in position, but our best player did not come through. So that had a lot to do. I'm fixing that. Hold up, guys. I'm fixing that real quick because that's going to bug me for later when I do the show later. I hate to have my stats all wrong up here, so I'm going to change that so that gets us where we need to be. Okay? Yeah, that's much better. Now, that's the overall records on what it really, really is. Points per game, 119.6 for fourth. They were 120.7 for first. As for this scoring, we are 107.2, which is second. 114.3 was 13th for them. And now we're 107.1, I believe. I think I'm going to have to go back and adjust these. Field goal percentage, we're first. And that's second. They're first as far as, this is scoring. I'm sorry, this is scoring. 47.2, we're second. We're 11th in three-point for shooting. They are fifth. Field goal percentage, they're first. We're second. Free throw percentage, we're first. They're 13th. Which they were really, really bad in free throw the other day. And if you're gonna shoot bad free throws against us when you got to make shots, you're in trouble. That's one of the things they're gonna have to watch. Rebounds, we're 13th. They're 16th. Assists, we're 12th. They're first. Turnovers, we're second. They're 10th, which means they do turn the ball over. Steals, we're first. Now these are us turning it over, not us defensively. Okay, this is just strictly offensive numbers. They're 12th, and then blocks, we're fourth, and they are 10th. So these are our numbers offensively, okay, versus them, which kind of gives you a nice little deal. So let's look at the records. That matters. But on points per game, I mean, 119.6, 120.2, man, you're splitting hairs. We're basically averaging the same thing, points per game. We're basically averaging 120 each or 119 each, however you want to look at it. That's splitting hairs. Opponents' points per games. Look at that. We're second. And remember, this was the crazy thing. During the year, okay, and I have some numbers for that. During the year, we were 12.9, and then during the season, during the playoffs, we're 12.4. I got the numbers for the Thunder here in just a minute. 3-point percentage shooting, we're 11th. They're 5th. Now, their bench is shooting crazy. I think their bench is shooting, 50% or something insane. Their bench is shooting from the three. But we don't really have to worry about them so much shooting a bunch of wide open threes because of the way we play defense. And I don't know how many guys they can really take us off the dribble one-on-one. But if you dismiss them, you're crazy. This just shows you how close these teams are. Free rebounds, 13th and 16th. We're better than they are at rebounding because we're bigger and they've got Miles Turner. That's it. And we got the two big beasts inside with Ihart and Chet. Turnovers, we turn the ball over 11.2, which is second. They're 10th, which they do turn the ball over. Which if we get out in transition, what do I always say, guys? Steals equal transitional baskets equal flow of the game. that your offensive flow of the game. That's what happens. That's why we get so good in turning the ball over and what happens with us, because we lead the NBA in turnover margin, because it's what we do. We turn you over, we get out in transition, we get easy baskets, then all of a sudden we're on a 12-2 run. We're on a 14-3 run. We're on a 17-2 run. We're on a 20-1 run. We're on a 25-5 run. And we go from being down to being competitive or being up to putting you away. And then all of a sudden you got to fight to get back in the game. And then by the end of the game, you're exhausted. Why? Because one, you had to fight to get back in. Two, you're physically beat up because of the simple fact that we're so physical on defense. Handsy, whatever you want to call it. That's what we are. If you don't protect the ball, you put the ball on the ground, boom, suck you in just like that. Like piranhas. Come get you. The lane is the water, and our defense is like piranhas. You get into that water, man, they're going to come get you. As a group. Not one, as a group. That matters. Now, that being said, I think this series is going to be way tougher than a lot of Oklahoma City fans think, because they've got Halliburton and they've got Siakam. They have the role players. Don't get me wrong, they got more role players. Okay, Nembhard, role player. They've got role players. Their Walker came in off the bench and knocked down shots. They got some players. Now, what they do is they're offensively. Now, what do offensive players do? Offensive players turn the ball over because when they're trying to make plays, they're shooters and they're trying. And our defense, they haven't seen anything like what we're going to show them. Now, that being said, can we beat them in 4? Yes. Will we probably beat them in 4? No. 5 or 6, I think it's going to be 6 games. That's just me. Now, would I rather them win at home, game 5 to close out the door, to do it at home? Yes, like we did the last series. That would be amazing. Would love to be there, especially after all these years of going through all the turmoil and all the pain of watching them play. Yes. But us winning at home versus winning on the road, do I really care? Hell, no, I don't care. I don't care if we sweep them in game 4 there. I don't care if we win. I would love for us to win at home in game 5. But if we win at game 6 there, am I going to be mad? No, I'm going to be going crazy. I want us to win. I don't care if it's 4. I don't care if it's 5. I don't care if it's 6. I don't care if it's 7. Now, I don't believe it's going to go 7. I just don't. And like I said, I don't believe any team can beat us 4 times because the relentless defensive pressure that we put on you. I don't know if it's possible to do that, to beat us in 4 games. I just don't. Now, granted, we went 7 games against Denver, but like I said, we gave them game 1. We killed them in game 2. Game 3, SGA did not close the door on him. And he admitted it. He came out and said, hey, I should have made shots, and we're used to him doing that over the 5 years he's been here. We're used to him doing that. We just are. We play great defense, SGA closes the door. Game 3, he did not. Game 4, he struggled, but he still closed the door on him. Game 5, he 100% went boom. Game 6, he was the only player on the court for Oklahoma City Thunder. Nobody else even showed up but him. And then game 7, here comes J-Dub, here comes Chet. And you'll notice that I did that comparison between Hallie and Siakam versus SGA, Chet, and J-Dub. When all 3 of them are rolling, you have 0 chance. I don't care what the team is. You have 0 chance against us. There's no hiding it. There's no trying to come up with narratives. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. And Thunder News. Okay, you look at us. This is us this year. The winning percentage broke the 1995-96 Bulls record. Okay, guess what they did? They won the chip. 80-18 ranks as one of the best NBA teams of all time. The other teams that won 80, they win the chip. 66 double-digit wins this year. 66. 66. Point differential. This is how good we've been. The season, 12.9. Playoffs, 12.5. Not a lot of difference, is it, guys? Not a lot of difference between the two. Because of the simple fact of what we do and how we play. We don't mess around. We get up into your grill. We let you know that who we are and what we're doing. We don't mess around. That's what the Thunder do. That's who the Thunder are. We're strong. We don't mess around. We play good, solid defense. We put the pressure on you, and we turn you over. That's what we do. That's what we do. And that's where the Thunder are at this year. The Thunder are a simple team that is led by defense. And what have we always said? Defense does what? Defense travels in all sports. Defense travels. It just does. And there's nothing that when our defense is on point, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, we talk about it all the time. What are the most important games? Games 1, 3, and 5. And game 4 is pretty important as well. But here's an important game. Game 1, because what Indiana did, they came in, they beat the Knicks, they beat the Cavaliers. That's what they did. They came in and put them in their place. But when you look at this Thunder team and you say, are you going to put us in our place? What are the odds? Okay, what are the odds of that actually happening? They're pretty good. I showed you the differences. It's not that whole lot of differences. Coaching. Carlisle versus Dagnall. Carlisle has been to the finals 5 times. He's won once. And remember, the Dallas Mavericks were complete underdogs to LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh. And what did they do? They got it done. And they beat him. So he knows how to win. He knows what to do. But that team and they had versus our team and who we are not the same. This Thunder team is no joke. We play hard. We play fast. We're a team that understands defense first, offense second. SGA, rest of us. Others, if that's what Shaq calls them, others. That's who the Thunder are. You play great defense, SGA closes the door. You play great defense, SGA closes the door. And when you look at SGA and what he's done this year, have the most 50, 40, 30, and 20-point games. 72 games in a row, he had 20. Which ties, of course, KD's record, who used to play for the Thunder. And we've talked about that. Who is the greatest player for the Thunder in history? It's KD. Now, that being said, if SGA brings home a chip, what does that make him? And my guy Nathan Taylor on a show last week, I think is what it was, he said that if SGA brings a chip home, then what that basically means is SGA is the best player for Oklahoma City. Not the best player, but the best player for the Oklahoma City Thunder, which makes sense because he brought the chip home and KD didn't. Now, that doesn't say that he disagrees with me because he agrees with me the best player that we've ever had is KD. That's not up for discussion. Period. KD is the best player we've ever had. The player with the most stats is Russell because he's played longer. But we're talking about the best player, not the player who lasted long like LeBron and Michael Jordan. LeBron's he's got numbers because he played longer. But he ain't the best player. Just like Russell's got all the numbers, but he ain't the best player. Best player is KD. And you're an idiot if you think anything else. You can get mad because, he left us. I don't give a shit about none of that. He is the best player we've ever had. Now, that being said, 2012 versus 2025, what's the difference? Age, experience, and understanding there's a hierarchy. That team, you had KD, who was clearly the best player. And you had Russell and Harden trying to fight for who was the best. And you basically had Russell wanting to take over and do everything. That's why he's now in Oklahoma City and he's, investing in this and all this stuff. Well, that's fine. That don't mean shit to me. I don't care what you're doing that. You're doing it for one reason, because you want a statue up. You want to say, look at what I've done for Oklahoma City. Give me a statue. I need to be permanently in front of your gym. I will go into any entrance except the one he's at. Don't want anything to do with him. That is bullshit. It's bullshit. He is not the best player we've ever had, period. He's third best player. It's KD, SGA, then him. Because they all won the MVP, including Harden. No one doubts KD's. No one doubts Harden's. No one doubts SGA's. Everybody knows the only reason why Russell Westbrook was the MVP is because Sam Presti helped him get all the numbers with the triple-double. That's a fact. That's not even up for discussion. Nobody looks at him and goes, oh, Russell was the MVP that year. Everybody says, yeah, Russell won the MVP because they go, he won it because. That's what they say, because. But nobody doubts that they don't say that about SGA. And getting 71 out of 100 votes and the 29 was ridiculous. And the 29 or the 71 voted for SGA number 2 as the second best player. Excuse me, the 71 who voted Jokic as the second best for number 2 were the number 1 for him, because SGA was 71-29 first place and 29-71 second place. So that's how that worked. Something's wrong with the Commander. It really is. Where's my water, bro? I don't see my YMB water. Where my water at, bro? Brother can't get a K. I would have my YMB water. Randy Wright has issues. He really does. But anyway, you get me off track, brother. Anyway, the way that I look at it is really simple. The Thunder's defense and what we bring is going to make the difference. It's going to make the difference. In games 4, 5, and 6. Carlisle is going to make his adjustments. He's going to do his deal. Okay? But here's the thing also. We're 29-1 against the East. 29-1. Only loss was to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which we played terrible. And that's the thing, as I said before, it scared me about setting for 7 days, because now we're going to get out of our groove, and now we got to get back into a groove. That's why I believe it will go 5 or 6 games, because it's going to take us a minute to get back into our groove. Because remember, that's what happened against, we were at SJ said, 13, 14 days, and then the 2 teams he struggles against, Memphis and Houston. We had to play Memphis. Never got into a groove. Game 1 wasn't into a groove. Game 2, we just blew them the hell out. He was 11 for 13, but we blew him out. I don't count those. Game 3, he couldn't close the door on him. Game 4, he got better and closed the door. Game 5, he 100% shut the door on him. And everybody talks about, oh, Dort saved us. Dort got us back in position after that third 3. And I'm at the game, and I can tell you, Thunderdome was going crazy. It was loud as a mother in there. 100%. But after he hit his third, SGA scores a layup. SGA throws an alley-oop to iHeart. SGA gets an and 1. SGA hits a 3. SGA hits 2 free throws. Then J-Dub hit a free throw. Had a guy arguing with me about it, going, oh, well, SGA shot on free throws. I said, you need to shut the hell up. What the hell are you talking about? He only shot 2 free throws. What do you? I said, go back and look and quit running your damn mouth because you're an attorney. You think you're smart. Go look back at the stats, bro. Go look back at the stats. What do the stats say? He shot 2 free throws. But he was responsible for how many points? 12 points of our last 13. He scored or assisted on 12 of our last 13. What did he do against Minnesota? We had 26 points in the first half. He scored or assisted on 24 of our 26 points. He is a bigger key. Hey, John Melico, what's up? Do I think the rest will carry over to the Pacers as well? I'm with you. Too much rest. John, that's why I wanted to beat the Knicks in Game 5, because they would have had 6 days of rest compared to our 7. That instead of 4 days. That bothers me a little bit, because they're still kind of in a groove. And it took us all the way through the Nuggets series before we got in a groove. Remember, I was talking about that. I didn't mind us going longer in against the Nuggets, because we were going to get back in a groove. And we got back in a groove in Game 7, carried over to Game 1, went to Game 2. We lost Game 3, which we should have won. And then we went Game 4 and 5. Boom. And we were in a groove as a team. Why? Because SGA, Chet, J-Dub. When those big 3 are rolling, we're unbeatable. And I've said that all year. And also on top of that, I will say this. When SGA comes out and he's aggressive and he lets everybody know he's ready to go, our team relaxes. And when our team relaxes, we're hard to beat. We are hard to beat. Because now everybody, you don't have to worry about Dort trying to get the ball and take people off the dribble. Dude, catch and shoot. Isaiah Joe, catch and shoot. Wiggins, catch and shoot. I don't want you if you can't catch and shoot, okay, give up the damn ball. Don't try to put the ball on the ground. Don't try to make plays. Just catch and shoot and play defense. That's how you win. We're going to take this quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about everything in the second part of the game tonight. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, Savannah planning, hit my guys up, especially my guy Mark Long over there. They will take care of you and give you anything that you might need. And by the way, I'm sorry they're missing game one because his son is, well, I guess it's not sorry. His son is graduating from dental school, so he's excited about that. So good luck on you and Maya. Be safe in your travels and hurry up and get back. But if you have needs for a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit those guys up. They'll take care of you because, as we always say, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you and get you all squared away. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. Now, the reason why I say 66, I only counted the 54 or whatever it took me to get from the door to the ATM. Now the commander says that it's 66. So I'm gonna say it's 66 because I know he ain't walked it off. I'm assuming he's guesstimating since it's 12 steps from the ATM to the downtown. Or have you had Waters? Did you have Waters do it for you, Commander? YMB Eastwards off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YMB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway located off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it. And then, of course, YMB People's located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Good stuff. I keep saying it, guys. It smells so good. Go in there and see them. Tell them that I sent you in there. And I promise you, they'll give you some samples. This stuff really smells good and it's worth the price. And that's Penn Square Mall there at the Dillard's location. Go in and see my girl Beth or anybody there and tell them that I sent you. They'll give you some free samples and take care of you, okay? So go do that. And trust me, it's worth it. Now, when we talked about this, and the commander and I talked about this before, we knew, especially when they beat the Knicks the first game, when they upset them and stole that game, that they were going to beat the Knicks. But the differences, other than what I just went over earlier in the show, are quite. The differences are quite simple. They're right out. The main key, the difference between us and them, is really simple. It's defense. It's defense. That's where the difference comes. And I'm going to show you this. This is the difference between us and them. When you look at, they're 43-18, we're 53 and 13. You know, that's 7 games on the win column, 5 games on the losing column, which is, 6 games is what it comes out to. 7 and 5, 6 game difference. But none of that matters. Here's the stuff that matters, guys. This, to me, this is the difference in what we're going to do for them and what they're going to do for us, team stats. Here's the differences for me. The commander, what the hell? What are you saying now? He's sending me messages. He don't want to come on YouTube. He just wants to send them to me. He says, he goes, you could take your time if you're drinking YNB water, YNB waters, and it would take 66 steps. Something's wrong with him, guys. It really is. I worry about him from time to time. But anyway, defensively, here's the difference between us. Points we give up, we're third. Field goal percentage, we're first. 3-point percentage, we're first. Assists, we're fourth in giving up. They're number one in assists. Pips, points in the paint, 41.7. We're first. And these are what we're giving up. Okay? Turnovers, 17.1. We're first. Second quarter scoring, we're first. Fourth quarter scoring, giving up, we're second. So these stats right here are the differences between the Thunder and the Pacers. And I gave you some stats earlier and showed you the differences when I gave offensively. Those were offensive stats. But when you look at it, here you go. When you look at it, here you go. Here are the numbers that matter. Second, only giving up two. So we're second in giving up points in the fourth quarter, which is where you win the game. We're first in turnovers. We're first in steals. We're first in pips, points in the paint. We're first in not giving up three-point shots. We're first in field goal percentage. That's who we are. Okay? That's who we are right there. Those are the differences that it's going to matter. Because eventually, I don't care who you are, the physicality and what we do for you defensively is going to matter. Now, someone said if they change how they call and call more fouls on us, okay, whatever. Okay, we're 19th in giving up fouls. We average 18.6 fouls a game. That's what we average fouling teams. Or teams fouling us. And I forget what it was. Let me pull that number back up real quick for you guys. Let me see. Where's my team stats? Here we go. We are, we're 25th. We average 20.5. We're 25th. Averaging 20.5 fouls a game. So we don't foul a lot, and that's who we are. So pretty much defensively, we are who we are defensively, period, throughout the year. And that being said, during the playoffs, we were 25th. During the year, we were third. Excuse me, I don't have that one up. I don't have that up there. I need to go redo that one, but I didn't add those to the season. So that's who we are. And it all starts on the defensive side of the basketball. It all starts on the defensive side of basketball. That's where it starts. And that's who we are. Because as I said, what happens? They shoot a lot of threes. Long shots equal long rebounds equal floor of the game. Turnovers equal fast break points equal floor of the game. And all those things we're number one at. I didn't mention we're number one in deflections. They like to get out and score. We're number one in transition defense, which means if you get a rebound and try to score on us, we don't give it up. If you score how many times they scored, the Knicks score on them, they turn around and got a layup, didn't get back? We're number one in that, not giving that up. We're number one if we turn the ball over, you're going back and giving up easy fast break points. We're number one in that. These are things that they do well that we take away. We don't give you easy transitional baskets, which is what they do. They play up tempo. We can play up tempo. But when up tempo means you play fast. And if you play fast and you got defense, you got a team in there who is handsy, they play defense and they're physical and they're number one in the league and getting their hands on balls, what does that mean? If you play fast, you tend to make mistakes. And if you make mistakes against us, that equals transitional baskets, which equal more of the flow for us offensively. So they're going to do what they're going to do. Halliburton leads the league in turnovers to assist ratio. He's a beast. And as I said, when you look at the MVP, I see why. I mean, I get that they voted Siakam MVP, but Halliburton was the one that closed the deal. Siakam was consistent throughout the thing, but at the end of the day, when they had to have a basket, it was Halliburton, not him. To me, that matters. But once again, these are writers. These aren't guys who played. These are guys who write, who've watched a lot of basketball. They haven't had their hearts poured out while on the court. Now, there's a difference if you're a fan, and there's fans I know that you get tied up emotionally in the game, 100%. But as commander, I'll tell you, when you get beat at the end of a game, when you're actually playing, and you've got all your sweat and everything in it, and somebody hits a shot on you to close the door, that shit hurts. It hurts worse for us that play than you that are in the stands. I can promise you. Now, does that take away from you being as a fan of you hurting? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're in the heat of it and you're playing and you're sitting there watching and you got a bird's eye view and that ball is going up and it goes in, that hurts because you're the one that's out there competing. So it hurts way more, not way more, but it does hurt more than if you're a fan. And I know some crazy fans. And in our section that we sit in, those people crazy. You're like the other night, I don't know if you heard them, Randy, but the other night, I mean, these people are sitting there screaming. I'm like, why are you screaming? You're right in my ear. Why are you screaming? It's the second quarter. Why are you screaming? And that's the thing that I hate about the playoffs when you go to games and these people hadn't been all year long. And they're standing up and you're like, bro, it's the first quarter. Can you sit down, please? I'm sitting there screaming, hey, sit down, sit down. Bro, it's the first quarter. Wait till the fourth quarter. If the game is on the line, then stand up. 2 minutes to go. Then, but what do you, sit down. Drives me nuts. Drives me insane. It just does. Because they haven't been there and I get it. You're excited. I mean, I understand. Bro, sit down. It's early. It ain't you standing up. First of all, they can't hear you from a club level. Can't hear you. No matter how much you yell, they can't hear you, bro. Too much going on down there, a lot of noise. They ain't listening to you. So don't be screaming in my ear because they can't hear you. Here's my anticipation for game one. I think the fact that they have not played or they played quicker than we have, they're going to be in more of the rhythm than we are. And like I said, when we beat Minnesota in the fifth game, I was a little concerned about that because that's why I wanted them to win the next night so bad, so they would be out 6. Because we got into a groove from that Denver series through Minnesota. We had got into a groove, which as a young team, that matters. And then on top of that, SGA had got into a groove. Remember, he's got 11 30-point games in the postseason. That's crazy. It's crazy what he's doing, and he's maturing right in front of our eyes. And as we said, thank you, Paul George. And Indiana Pacers, they can thank Paul George too for leaving them to come to us, and us giving you Sabonis and oh my God, what is his name? Towards Neal, he was a hell of a player, but he and Russell didn't get along. And Sabonis and Russell didn't get along. What a shock! All you people that love Russell, I'm like, you see how many people he ran off on our team? Y'all sit there like, oh, he stayed. That's all you can say. Nobody else wanted his ass. And then when everybody thought they wanted him, they kept him for a year. Like, you're gone. Then he goes to the Wizards, who was a former assistant general manager of Thunder. Oh, we'll take Russell, get people in the stands, love his energy, create ticket sales. They got rid of him. LeBron thought he wanted him. And thank you, LeBron, because we have Caruso now. So thank you, LeBron. The AD, president of operations for the Lakers, thank you, LeBron, because we have Caruso now. Remember, he didn't want Caruso. He wanted Westbrook and he wanted Carmelo. His arrogance got in the way. And what happened? Tank. Then he goes to the Clippers. What happens? We don't want you. Then he's at the Nuggets. They don't want him either, but they don't have a choice because it's his last year. He gets to make the decision. And ain't nobody, he better take that player option because ain't nobody going to pay him that amount of money. Those big money days of him was over. But he's doing well in the investments he made in Oklahoma City. So he'll make money off the court. That's where he'll make his money. That being said, thank you, Paul George, for what you did. For us, and somebody made the comment about the Paul George SGA trade was equal to what Dallas had done with Herschel Walker. And I thought about that for a minute, and I thought to myself, okay, let's compare, and most of y'all, I don't know how many of y'all are too young to even know what the hell I'm talking about, but the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s traded Herschel Walker to Minnesota for a bunch of picks. And that trade was the foundation of what Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones built for them to win 3 out of 4 championships. They should have won 4 in a row. That team that they had, and I like Coach Switzer, but I believe had Jimmy Johnson stayed, they would have won 4 in a row. Because remember, they won 2 in a row. Coach Switzer came, changed the philosophy of what they were doing. It took them a minute to go from the hand over the iron fist of Jimmy Johnson to Barry's, hey, let's go out here and play, bro. Let's just go out here and do what you need to do. Do whatever off the field. I don't give a shit, but you come in and you be ready to play on Sunday. That's how it was at OU. Do what you got to do, but be ready on Saturday. And they won another one. That's his second year. And remember, how many coaches have won an NCAA championship and an NFC and an NFL Super Bowl? There's only been 3 that I know of. That's Jimmy Johnson, that's Barry Switzer, and that's Pete Carroll. Those are the 3 I know of that have won a college NCAA championship and then turn around and won a Super Bowl. Those are only 3 I know of. That is a select group of people. But that trade and what they did laid the foundation for all their picks and what they were able to do to build a foundational piece. And what Paul George did, getting traded to the Clippers. First of all, we got our foundational piece, SGA. Then the next year we got J-Dub. Because remember, Chet, we were in the lottery, so that was our deal. But we got J-Dub in that pick. And when you look at what the Thunder have built because of the picks and because of the picks that keep giving, because now we have the 15th and 24th, I think is what we have this year, which, I mean, you can use them to move up because we need a 6'9", 6'10" guy. We need a Naj Reed-ish type person. Now, Johnson was the guy from New Jersey, but I'm not giving up Topic and I'm not giving up 5. I'm not doing that for him, no. We can win without him. We would be, I don't know if we'd have lost more than 1 game if he was here. I just don't. Because he is a 6'9" Wiggins, a 6'9" K-Rich. That's what he is. He gives us that ability to have another big body in there with Chet and with Ihart that can handle rebounding but still defend the wing and be able to knock down 3-point shoots, 3-and-D guy with height. That's what he is. And I think he would have fit well into what we do because of our chemistry and how we do things. And I think now you've watched that our coach has now given the reins to SGA and stopped all that nonsense of trying to develop J-Dub. Like, and I said this on the show. After we barely beat Memphis in Game 4. 7 seconds left, up 2, you put the ball in J-Dub's hands. What the hell you doing? You do that do that again, we're gonna get beat. Very next game, he puts it in Chet's hands, we get beat. After that, nobody shot free throws but SG at the end. Put the ball in the man. This is playoffs. This ain't doing the season. You can go build J-Dub up next year. This is playoffs. Let's go win right now. Here's our opportunity. This is year 2 of a 5-year window you have to do something. Year 2. Second year in a row, you've been the number 1 seed. We learned a lot from last year. You're in year 2 of a 5-year window. Year 3, we got everybody coming back, including Topic, next year. Now, what is Topic going to do for us? And I said it's really simple. You run that BS zone against us, what's going to happen? You're going to have Topic at the free throw line, and when they try to play zone, you kick it to him, he's going to dominate just like Josh used to do. He's going to kill you. He's got that ability. Now, remember, what can kill the Thunder is what? Salary cap. That's why I don't really want SGA to sign. I want him to wait because let's wait till the salary cap kicks in and it doesn't really bother us. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He'll probably sign next year. He signed J-Dub and Chet this year. 1 year early, so that gives you 3 years down the road. You signed Kaysen a year early, which gives you 4 years down the road. Then you got to deal with what? You already signed Caruso. You have Ihart for 2 more years. So for the next 2 years, you're pretty much set with the roster. And you've drafted the right person that's young or you trade for a guy and get you somebody in there who's 6'9", 6'10", who's athletic, can play defense and do what Wiggins and K-Rich and them do, you're fine. Because you still have SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Caruso, Kaysen, and iHeart. You still got your group, and Dort. You still got your group there. You got your 7 core. And with Topic is 8. So you're sitting there pretty good. Defense, you're going to be still strong again. Offensively, you've added another piece. And then with that second group in the second and fourth quarters, Topic is your point guard to go with J-Dub, with Caruso, or Kaysen, whichever one you go with, and Wiggins and iHeart if Wiggins is still there, if you can find somebody to take his place. That's what you got right there. Now, you don't have to worry about your second quarter dips as far as people scoring. You don't have to worry about that. And the reason why we became number one is when J-Dub went out in the second quarter, and we became number one because Kaysen just went to another level, and that second and fourth quarter group was through the roof, especially the second quarter group with J-Dub gone. And he came back, and all he did was, I think, it's kind of like we talked about Marcus Smart at OSU. When you're sitting down and you're watching the game, you see where you can fit in. And that's when I told y'all Chet, remember he was hurt? I said Chet is gleaning so much because he's sitting there going, oh, okay, I can fit there. I can fit there. I'm going to fit perfect there. Oh, I can do this is what I need to add because he's watching. He's seeing exactly where he's going to be needed and where he's going to fit in. Then we bring iHeart in there. Now all of a sudden he's in his natural position of 4, not the 5. He can play the 5, but against a Jokic and a Nightmares matchup. And what did we always get back to? Matchups. Who do you match up with? We played against the Knicks. I think we beat the Knicks. We sweep the Knicks. Maybe 5. But this team is going to be a lot harder. Now, can we sweep them? Yes. Are we going to sweep them? I don't see that. I think it's 5 or 6. Now, like I said, if we beat them in 4, I'm good. We beat them in 5, I'm good. We beat them in 6, I'm good. We beat them in 7, I'm good. But I think it's going to be very difficult for anybody to beat us 4 times. And the only reason why we went 7 games against Denver was because we gave them a game. We really gave them 2. Dagnall gave them game 1. SGA gave them game 3. And I'm gonna put that onus on SGA because, bro, you got to make those shots. Now, granted, you weren't in a groove, and granted all that, I understand. And I love the fact that you stepped up and said, hey, it's on me. Those are shots I normally make. I got to make them. Game 4 you did. Game 5 for sure you did. Game 6 you did. Game 7 you did. Game 1 you did. And you just went on. You just been rolling ever since. So that time off, I'm worried because we may get rusty because we got into a flow. That's why I think it's going to take us a minute. Now, I could be wrong, and we'll step out and be ready to go in game 1. We'll see how that works. So, anyway, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I got to go get us set up my basketball camp. Speaking of that, let me give me some love on that because we are about to finish up. Tomorrow's the last day for entry. Wednesday will be the last day for entry for our camp. Next Monday and Tuesday, June 9th and 10th. Grades 1st through 8th, which is where you're currently in, guys. Okay? You're currently in. You can Venmo us out here. Still, just go ahead and scan in and sign up. And we are doing our shirts. And by the way, this will be the only time my name will ever be in that maroon color, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, that's the QR code, June 9th and 10th. Grades 1st through 8th, Monday and Tuesday, 8 to 12. So drop them all before work. And I usually get there about 7:30 myself, or Cassidy will be there about 7:30. And then you pick them up at lunchtime. And we're currently trying to work on getting a food truck there from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 4. So if you guys want to come get something to eat, you can, whatever. So we're going to try to work that out so you can pick your kids up at noon, have a food truck there. And I'll have more information on that tomorrow on how that's going to work out. So that being said, hey, hopefully you guys will be on. We're going to try to do the show tonight, this evening, kind of a preview on After the Storm and get a good feel, talking about more in depth about what we did today. And, of course, we will have our people who are normally on our show at night in the chat. They're fantastic. So that being said, everybody have a fantastic day. You enjoy yourself.